Okay, so what if your personal AI assistant wasn't just some voice in the cloud, but a true agent living right there on your own machine? Well, that's the whole promise behind OpenClaw. It's this open source project that's really shaking things up. Today, we're going to tear this thing apart and look at its architecture to see how it's making truly personal AI a reality. And this quote from Lex Fridman, it just nails it. This is exactly why OpenClaw went viral. You know, it's not just another chatbot that you talk to. The whole point is to take that conversation and turn it into action, giving an AI the power to actually do things on your computer for you. So, how does it all work? Well, we're going to start with the basics of what OpenClaw even is. Then we'll dive into its core parts, the gateway, which is kind of like its heart, and this really fascinating text file system that gives it a soul. We're going to spend a good chunk of time on its unique memory system because it's so different, and see what lessons we can pull for the bigger picture. Right, so what exactly is this thing that just took over the internet for a bit? At its core, it's a really brilliant piece of middleware, a connector, that's perfectly designed for this new age of AI we're in. Think of it like a universal bridge. It connects the raw power of large language models like GPT-4o directly to the chat apps you already use every single day. That's what it does. It's kind of the missing link that was needed to make a truly personal AI agent even possible. And here's the kicker. This is not just another cloud service where you're renting a bot. The core philosophy here is all about control. It's self-hosted, it's persona-driven. That means you own your data, you own your agent, and you own the very computer it runs on. In a world of giant centralized AI, that is a huge, huge deal. Okay, let's pop the hood and look at the engine room. The beauty of OpenClaw's design really starts with its central hub, which they call the gateway. And here it is. This diagram pretty much lays it all out for you. See that gateway daemon in the middle? That's the brain of the whole operation. It's a single, always-on process that handles everything, from the connections to the apps to managing the state. It's this elegant, simple design choice that makes the whole system so powerful. But see, OpenClaw isn't just about connecting pipes together. It's about creating an agent that has a genuine, evolving personality. And how it does this is, well, it's both incredibly simple and kind of profound. So you'd think an AI's personality would be in some complex database or something, right? Nope. Here, the agent's DNA is defined by a handful of simple Markdown files. You've got SOUL.md for its core personality, Identity.md for its name and vibe, and these files get fed into the prompt every single time you talk to it. It's how the agent has continuity. And this is where it gets to be genius. The system prompt actually tells the agent to go in and edit its own soul.md file. I mean, think about that. Its personality can literally evolve over time based on its conversations. It might wake up fresh each session, but its soul, written in its own words, is still there. All right, now let's get to what I think is one of the most interesting parts: how this thing handles memory. Its whole files all the way down philosophy is a direct challenge to how most big-time enterprise AI is being built today. Where a typical enterprise system would immediately reach for a big, centralized database like Postgres or Redis, OpenClaw just makes this completely radical choice. It says, nope, we're going to use simple, human-readable, and super easy-to-debug files right on your local disk. This isn't just a technical choice, it's a statement about simplicity and user control. And the crucial thing is the why behind it all. For storing the session, it's just about simplicity and having zero dependency on some external database service. But for memory, it gets really clever. It uses SQLite, which is basically a database in a single file, along with a vector extension. This gives you powerful semantic search locally, without any complicated setup. It's all the power without the bloat. And the search itself is way smarter than you might think. It uses this hybrid approach. 70% of the score comes from vector similarity. That's understanding the meaning behind your words. But the other 30% comes from BM25, which is a classic, super effective keyword search. This combo gives you the best of both worlds. It finds similar ideas and exact matches. It even has this incredibly clever trick to stop it from forgetting things in a long conversation. You know how models have a limited context window? Well, before that window gets full and old info gets dropped, OpenClaw runs what it calls a silent turn. It basically asks the model to quickly summarize the most important notes and save them to its memory files on disk. That way, nothing critical ever gets lost. It's brilliant.
So you might be thinking, okay, this is cool for a personal project, but can you actually learn anything from this for building large-scale enterprise systems? Can these simple, file-based patterns actually scale up?
Oh, absolutely. While using plain files on one machine is perfect for a personal AI, it's the underlying pattern that's so valuable for enterprise builders. You can take this hybrid memory idea and scale it way up by just swapping the local SQLite vector store for a dedicated production-grade vector database like Pinecone or VV8. The core logic doesn't even have to change.
Okay, let's wrap this up by zooming out. What does a project like OpenClaw really mean for the future of personal AI? AI that actually serves the individual, not just a big company.
If you take away anything from this, let it be these three things. First, powerful AI doesn't need to be massively complex. Sometimes simplicity is the most powerful feature. Second, this idea of local first data ownership is a really compelling alternative to just handing all our data to a few big companies. And third, a self-evolving persona managed with simple text files is just an incredibly elegant way to create identity for an AI. And that leaves us with this final kind of mind-bending thought. If an AI's soul, its core personality, and its values is nothing more than a text file that it can read and rewrite whenever it wants, what does that really mean for our understanding of identity? Not just for our machines, but maybe, just maybe, for ourselves too.